Good morning. This message is for the sign of Sagittarius. Here we go, guys. I have a vision for you. So, picture this, all right? There's a diner right on the edge of a street, okay? It's kind of like at a red light. Now, this diner looks to be very small. It's got these little, two-seat tables, wrought iron tables in the window. So these people can look out at the street. It's kind of like in a strip mall close to the road. The man's eating in this diner, having coffee or whatever, and this woman pulls up to the red light right there on the end of the street, right? She gets out, parks her car at the, where you pay to park. She pays to park, but as she's getting out, and she opens her door, you can hear the music that she's playing in her vehicle. The music is classical. The man in my vision is like, I'm talking instant, okay? Instant recognition in a way, although this man does not know this woman, okay? She's just parking her car, getting out to go into the diner, but the music is playing, and it was like just something like, I recognize you, but the music is kind of what did it. It was like a trigger. Well, she comes in the diner, sits down, he gets up. As he's leaving, he goes to the woman and he just kind of puts his hand on the table and he's like, hey, good choice in music. She's like, what do you mean? He's like, I heard what you were listening to when you got out before you came in here. I like that. And she's like, oh, thank you. Yeah, I listen to everything, but I was just in a classical mood today. And he's like, that's funny. My name is Beethoven. Now that seems funny, right? That seems funny. It seems like a joke, but isn't that really crazy for the message today? All right, Sagittarius, so here we go. This would be like, now I don't know if this is how someone feels about you or how you feel about another, but I'm gonna say this is how someone is experiencing a connection with you right now, but you can turn it around if you need to. Since they've met you, since they've encountered you, since they've been aware of your existence on this earth, they've been really, from the jump, smitten with you. They've been very connected to you, even in the weirdest ways. Like, you may not even know because you're like separated, but there's still some sort of window where this person can view you. They definitely viewed you without you being aware. And there was something that was just so uncanny. Like, it was just so uncanny. It was so, call it a sign, call it a miracle, call it a clear, like, there's no way that this was an accident. There's no way that meeting you was an accident. I need to know why we have this connection. I need to know what this is here. Like, somebody, it's like I didn't even have to tell you who I was. It's like you saw right through me. Like, you just pulled right up, you parked, you stopped. You could have went anywhere else, but you came here. You came into this diner. You could have went to any of the other diners around in the strip mall. In my vision, Then you came in here. You listened to all kinds of music. You've done a lot of things, but this day, at this moment, at this time, you were listening to an exact song that I was named after the artist, the musician. It was like right place, right time. Fancy meeting you here. Uncanny coincidence. No, I don't believe in coincidences. Uncanny synchronicities. It's like somebody can see themselves in another, or they can see, I don't know, it's like some sort of similarities, they're like somebody who's finding similarities in another person. Well, they're not really finding them, it's just kind of right there in their face. I don't know how, or if this is you, someone here is seeing synchronicities between them and another, and they're like, oh my God, like it's just like every day, or it's right in someone's face how much in common some people have here. you know? There's definitely like an instant attraction, an instant knowing. It's like I was getting up to leave, but now I want to sit down and talk to you. Like I was just going to make this a short little in and out trip, or I was going to make this just a short in and out experience here in this diner. I wasn't expecting to encounter you. And now it's like you got me thinking about you. You got me lifted. What's that song? Higher than the ceiling. And ooh-wee, it's an ultimate feeling. You got me lifted, feeling so gifted. Sugar at your gift. Oh, it is a song. It's called Sugar Sugar. My hair, sorry, if you see me doing this, it's because my hair is sticking to my lip gloss. I'm not going to read these lyrics, but basically he's like, you take care of me, and I'm taking care of you. It's like a mutually beneficial agreement, but it's not an agreement because they just met, right? In my vision, they hadn't made an agreement, they just met. He's in the diner, she's at the red light coming in. It's an innocent, almost seems accidental, coincidental meeting, but let's be honest, it's not coincidental nor accidental. It was, I'm hearing fated. It was a fated encounter. And so the idea of me channeling this song with it is, it's so sweet, which we got sweet earlier. It's so sweet and uncanny and just like, okay. It's such a synchronicity, or there's so many that it's like someone's like, you naturally fulfill me, so I'm gonna naturally fulfill you. Because nobody's trying here. It's like they just collided. They just ran into each other. They just happen to both like coffee. They just happen to both like that diner. They just, not in actuality, but you see what I'm saying? They just happen to have all these similarities without trying. Without having to force it, without having to make it work. It just does work. Oops. You know, it's like, someone here's like, oops. So it could be that maybe someone's deciding which action they want to take next, because at some point they got to leave the diner, right? At some point they're going to have to leave. It's going to close. And is this man going to now pay for her meal since he's sitting at the table now? Well, of course he is. So it's like, okay, now we turned it into like a date, you know? It's kind of like the idea of two people meeting and then they kind of bump into each other, or they meet like this, right? And it's not really, I mean, it's supposed to be anything. Or was it? Right? Or was it? And then it turns into something, as in, you know, they end up making, like, they end up kind of seeing each other again, right shortly after. Like, they see each other at the red light, and then they see each other right after, and then he sits at her table. So it's like, they're definitely making time for each other. And then it starts making more time with each other, making more time with each other, making more plans to see each other. You know what I mean? Things like this. And now someone's at the point where it's like, okay, I've seen you a couple times, and I need to decide what I want to do with this now, because we can't keep coming to the same diner. We can't stay here all night. They're going to close. I need to get your number, if they've already gotten the number. It depends on what level this is at. But this is basically someone who is trying to decide what next steps to take towards you, because they definitely want to see what else you have in common. They want to see you. Or this is you. You may want to see what else you have in common with somebody. Spend quality time together. Maybe where there's not people around, or the possibility of people coming in or in and out. It's like, let's spend some one-on-one time together. I think this is someone's next move. They're going to see if you'll spend one-on-one time with them. Or you may do this. I think it's a good idea. I do. If you feel good about it, you know. I think I'm going to call yours Sweet Encounters. But you know what I'm kind of getting right now? I feel like someone may be worried. I don't know about worried, but maybe they are. Someone is concerned, we'll say that what if they lose contact with you? What if you end up moving? What if they don't see you again? What if you go on a diet and you don't want to eat that diner anymore? Like, you know what I mean? It's like someone's, let's say, I don't know, I feel like someone's almost a teeny tiny bit panicking inwardly. They're not showing it on the outside, but they're inwardly panicking, like, are we ever going to reconnect? What if we don't reconnect again? What if actually they like change their number or whatever? Like I would have no way of finding them. Like if I were to disconnect at this point or they were to somehow run away from me, I wouldn't actually know any other way to get in touch with them. Right? Like maybe someone doesn't have a social media. Someone could also be like taking things really slowly, you know, of course, because there's only been like maybe a couple of run-ins or a couple of meetings, a couple of hangouts, a couple of, you know, interactions with each other. So maybe someone's like, well, I didn't want to scare you away, but someone may have like hid how they felt. Maybe someone just kind of played it off as something like casual, but someone definitely felt more here, definitely feels more here, wants something deeper, but they haven't thus far like really come out and said it, because I feel like if somebody did, they could outright say, we have a lot in common, I've known it for a while, and I just didn't know how else to run into you again, or how else to like, I don't know, someone's like choking on their words. I mean, the number one thing is attraction, okay? Because the first thing the guy sees is the girl get out of the car before he even hears that she's playing classical music. So someone is like, it's like eye candy in a way, which sounds really bad, but I think it's deeper than that, right? It's like that's what the initial attraction was that somebody's fucking hot. I mean, you're fucking hot. Sagittarius or Sagittarius cross watcher, whoever's watching this video, you're hot, or you fell for someone who's really fucking hot. And just, of course, hell yeah, the initial attraction, you gotta be attracted to somebody, but then come to find out you actually have a lot more in common than you expected. You mean you weren't even expecting it. And then boom, what do you know, right? Or they weren't expecting it, and boom, what do you know? So there is definitely like a high attraction, a high chemistry, if you will, between two people. It's like, I mean, they can think of you and get, you know what I'm saying? Because they visually, like, they can picture you so well, especially if you've had a few encounters or, one-on-ones with this person, or talks, run-ins, whatever, meetings, meetups. They can still picture your face. They have like a photographic memory. Like they can, it's like an Etch-a-Sketch. They can actually picture everything. But then like, where do we go from here? You know what I mean? We're just going to sit at the diner every day. It's just going to be a place is someone just going to keep coming in to like have meetups? Like where is this going to go? I don't know, but this is what I have so far for Sagittarius. Thank you guys for being here, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.